Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Islam. Peace and love. We are here for 30 minutes, more or less, probably less, because I can hear people trying to make their way down the stairs, and I got to go make dinner. All right. Islam, peace and love to everybody, right? Nope, go back upstairs. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to make this quick, obviously. I am Sister Tahita Najee-Ullah L of MRCI Charities, or CalifaMedia.com, mrcicharities.org, and most recently, riseofthemoors.org. And I just came on real quick to give a few updates, and then I'm going to get out of here. All right. So, and I have my notes, because why? I respect your time, right? And I need to create some content. So thank you all for being here, those who are here. And I appreciate those who will see this later. All right. So the first update is the Moorish Mommy Sunday Brunch. That's every first and third Sunday of the month. And there was supposed to be one today. I showed up, waited 10 minutes, something came up, and then I had to bounce. But if you tried to come in after that, I had something that came up. And that got me thinking, like, this tends to happen to me a lot, right? For those who don't know, you should always, like, I feel that it should be put on a business card, really. Your big three, sun, moon, rising, right? So my big three are Gemini sun, Leo moon, and Libra rising, right? So double air and some fire. So it's like a balloon, right? And so it's constantly swirling and moving, and I find that I have very little control of my life. I have control of my choices, but as far as the trajectory of my life, it's like, yay, divine guidance. Turns out divine guidance is a thing, right? I don't feel like I'm being like just, what's the word I'm looking for? Surrendering to it, like just floating like a piece of like driftwood or something. It's just like, no, you were sent here to do something, and this is what you're gonna do no matter what you had planned. So that keeps happening. So that gave me the idea to change up the format a little bit. Yesterday, on Saturday, October 5th, I published a video about what we were supposed to be talking about in the Moorish Mommy Sunday Brunch today, right? And then as I'm watching the video, it's just like, there's not much left to discuss, because I took it out of the Moorish. Do I have a copy of it? I do not have a copy of it. The Muslim Girls Training Guide. I took the notes or our discussion topic, you know how you icebreaker, and then you let that start the conversation, and then you see where the conversation goes after that. So this icebreaker was talking about basically how we carry ourselves as Moorish women, right? How when you think of other nationalities and how they conduct themselves in public, at least, certain things come to mind, right? Like Japanese women, and I guess Asian women in general, they're known for being meek and quiet, blah, blah, blah. Latino women are known for being spicy, I guess. And as far as the ones I know, very nurturing. Let's take that to Italian women. They know they just want to keep feeding you. Some stereotypes are good, right? So I want to establish some stereotypes for our women, right? And it was supposed to be going into an experience that I had 10 years ago that I was reminded of at the last Moorish Mommy Brunch 2 weeks ago, right? Because I know the sister who who thankfully exited on her own. And I'll probably make a video on that, because it was an interesting learning moment, right? So some drama. We had a Moorish Mommy Meetup 2 weeks ago, and one particular participant just kept complaining and complaining without asking what was going on. She just automatically jumped to complaints. And I know how I wanted to react, but I kept checking myself like, nope, you trying to bring the nigga out of me and I'm not going to let you do it. What a great opportunity to discuss how we can keep control and poise of ourselves so we can change the stereotype from being, broke neck, ready to pop off at any instant because they're frustrated and whatever else is going on. That's another way to set ourselves apart. Right? Not only does the turban set us apart, but ooh, you're not like other black girls. If you're a Moorish woman, you've probably heard that before, right? You're not like other black women. I should be, but whatever. But I'm not black. And there's another way, I'm not black, by the way I carry myself. So we were going to be discussing like different tactics, strategies to use to gracefully and with poise and dignity remove ourselves from those kind of situations, from people trying to tempt us back into niggerdom, basically, right? And I was going to go into something that happened 10 years ago that I was reminded of. And it was a perfect example. I might make a video of it. Actually, I might already have a video of it. And how myself remaining, because I ain't do nothing. And the person thought I did something. And again, the situation, and if you would have just asked, right? But you already had your mind made up. Another fault of, I guess, low vibrational women in general, right? But black women tend to have it the most. I get it. When you're in survival mode around absolutely everyone except children, basically, right? You're going to be walking around like looking for problems. And of course they show up, right? But, yeah. So anyway, I say all that to say, I'm glad I made that video yesterday because I showed up today and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got so much to do. But this video kind of takes care of it. So, I think we will be moving, or I will be moving, the Moorish Mommy Sunday Brunch will be a video series. It's not going away. I'm just going to make it a video series, right? That way, I know I'm busy. So I guess I'm generalizing and assuming that other Moorish mommies, I got a camera going on over here too, if you see me looking on over here. I'm guessing other Moorish mommies are busy as well, right? So why not just put it up? And then those who find it later, because one of the complaints was that I had published the video, the recording of our meeting. I had published it for public consumption, which I hadn't. But the person just assumed that I did, and instead of just asking. But I'm so proud of myself because I didn't snap. I just said, well, if you had asked, I would have told you that it's unlisted. Nobody can see it unless you send it to them, right? But I'll make it private now, and I'll make sure you can't get to it. That way you don't have nothing else to complain about. So, just to alleviate all of that, because another sister had asked me if she could have access to the meeting. I'm like, I don't know if that's appropriate because that's even in the Moorish Science Temple. If you're not at the meeting, you missed out, right? Don't tell anybody who wasn't at the meeting what happened at the meeting. It's not for them or they would have been there. So to alleviate that issue, I'm just going to make it a series. I already have it all planned out because there were going to be discussions where we could sit down. But the last discussion went 2 hours. Not complaining. That was 2 hours between 4 sisters. I'm glad more sisters didn't show up, right? So to avoid that, because I will just keep going. I like talking to our sisters because I like, just like men like women like women, right? Not for the same reason, but kind of, yeah, it's like, what do you get when you're hanging out with a woman? It's just a different vibe. You can talk to her, you can let your hair down, all that stuff. We get the same thing from each other, right? And that was great, but I just don't have the time right now. Video ended. Huh? Okay, I don't know what just happened. Good thing I was recording. Am I recording? It looks like I'm recording. Okay, I'm recording. Okay. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that this may be spread widely. Islam, y'all. Islam. We are here. For 30 minutes more or less. I am Sister Tahida, that's Najee-Ullah of CalifaMedia.com, mrcicharities.org, that's mrcicharities.org, and riseofthemoors.org. Yeah, get rid of this. anyway, I'm not going to keep y'all that long. I just wanted to come on real quick and finish up the live I started 2 weeks ago, which is kind of wild because I can't believe it's already been 2 weeks, where I got shut down because I said I didn't want to be a Nigger anymore. Then they shut it down. But they put me back like 10 minutes later, so whatever. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago, I can't believe it's been 2 weeks already in Islam. Thank y'all for attending. And thank you all who will see this again later. This is just some quick announcements, all right? Because a sister is busy, and I'm guessing y'all busy too. So anyway, last week I went into why Moorish Mommy Sunday Brunch, which was today, is no longer like we're going to do a meet and chat thing. It's going to be a series. Because that way, if you miss the meeting, you won't be excluded from what happened, because I don't think that kind of thing should be shared if you didn't attend the meeting, right? And that way, people who come again later, sisters who like come into the sisterhood later, they'll have something to refer to. So that's a series, and there's one up today. The one that I put up today was talking about self-cultivation, right? So the first, I'm not going to belabor this too much. The first Moorish Mommy Meetup, we were just chatting. Second one was talking about maintaining our composure as Moorish women. Like, we should have a certain kind of poise. You should be like statuesque, right? People should wonder, are you real? Yeah, right? And this one was saying, cultivate yourself. Because a great way to look poised is that you can hold yourself still. And a great way to hold yourself still is to have your mind be engaged. How do you have your mind engaged? Have something to think about, right? One of the best compliments brothers give me is that I know how to hold a decent conversation. And that's like, I don't consider that a compliment. I mean, thank you, but that's sad that that's not common, right? And I can hold a decent conversation because I have things to talk about, because I read. That's my form of cultivation. And then, you know, I work a lot from home, thank goodness. And in order to keep myself grounded in nature, I knit, I sew, I crochet. I'm trying to look and see if I can get into weaving, you know, keeping it like, okay, what were women's traditional responsibilities back then, right? And that's giving me an idea for another Moorish mental. Let me write that down real quick. How corporate America is getting paid to be your mom. Think about it. Your mom. Thank you for your indulgence. I got to do something about that. Think about it, right? How crappy society, at least in this country, how messed up society is, because a lot of the duties that used to traditionally be handled by mothers or women in general, you have to go buy them somewhere. I mean, you have to pay for her to get the stuff to do it, but now it's all corporatized and privatized. For instance, when my mother went to high school, home ec was a thing, where they taught you, the women, how, or the girls, I guess they were women, how to cook, clean, sew, and budget. The boys took shop, where they either learned how to do machines or they learned how to build things, right? And of course, all that's gone because it's all corporatized, except for the guys' part. You know, I love the fact that they're still like independent contractors. But think about it. Where do you get your clothes? For the most part, right? You go to the grocery store. Are you buying ingredients, or are you buying something that's already prepared? Both of those are mother's things. And now we're outsourcing the very concept of motherhood. Because I was just talking to my children about that yesterday, how it blows my mind that in order for women can't get paid to stay home with their children, but the state or whoever will help them pay somebody else to take care of their children. It's really wild, right? So anyway, so I was talking about self-cultivation, and that's on Califa Media's YouTube if you want to check it out. And it's encouraging our sisters to work on themselves. Not saying you have any problems. It's just like work on yourself, as in make yourself interesting to you, right? Because whatever you're interested in, somebody else might be interested in. And there's whole industries out there where women are getting paid ample resources, not just money, just because they talk to people. They can hold a decent conversation, right? So saying all that to say, Moorish Mommy Sunday Brunch is now a series that can be found on Califa Media's YouTube page. All right. Now I can get into what I got cut off of 2 weeks ago. the November trip update. All right. If you aren't aware, the Moors are meeting up in Georgia this November 15th through the 17th, 2024. Right. We will be in and I have another camera going. We will be in and around Snellville, Georgia. All right, which is between. It's near Atlanta. And I've looked around, it's like Atlanta, Lawrenceville, Snellville. So if you want to, like, if you're looking for accommodations, look for those three names. Stone Mountain, look for that name. In case you aren't aware, the venue it starts on the 15th, November 15th, that's a Friday, at 1 p.m. at, is it 4 Oaks? 5 Forks? I hope it's 5 Forks. That would be too cool. It's at a library in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And right now is Brother Cujo L. It's the last leg of the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tour for 2024. That's just the closing for 2024. All right. Because I'm liking this meetup stuff, and it's like, oh, you going somewhere? Can I meet you there? You know, and can I tell about 5,000 people that we gonna be over there, and maybe, you know, if they in town or something, we can all link up. Just so, you know, we can be around some people, like-minded Moors, or just even people just Moors. You don't even have to be like-minded. Just, you know, you're a Moor. So anyway, so it starts with the lecture on the 15th, and then that same day, Allah willing, we'll be hiking up Stone Mountain, right? And we'll see what happens. I'm thinking about doing my homework and setting up like a little presentation, because if you have a large enough group, you can pay a tour guide. I like to be a tour guide. So yeah, I have a degree in history, you know, and I want my stuff back, and I want to find out how y'all did all this stuff. So I'm gonna dig in. And so yeah, I'm going to be there, and I need to impress my children. Will be there, and I will be working to impress them. So yeah, if the Moors don't mind, you know, I'd like to contribute, you know, take y'all on a tour of it, because the Moor wants to find a Moor. We're going because the Moor wanted to find out what's going on up there. Why did they do what they did, right? So I guess we're going to find out, and I don't know if it's going to be taped or anything, so if you can get there, that kind of thing. And then that evening, so the lecture, the hike up Stone Mountain, that evening, Allah willing, we will be going, after we eat, going bowling, right? And I'm in the process of finishing up a short video on the Moorish connection to bowling. Isn't that cool? We have a connection to bowling. Like, oh, we came, you know, the Egyptians had it, the Romans had it, but Moors did something else to it. So yeah, Allah willing, that will be coming either today or, well, not tonight. Not today, because I had to take the day off. That'll be coming. That'll be, you know, that'll be up. So if you like the other videos I've been putting up, like, yeah, did you know that Moors, you know, they wore gold earrings in case something happened, you know, take my earrings and just put me in the ground and take my earrings for your trouble. Yeah, so yeah, I found some stuff about bowling. All right, but anyway, let me try to stay on track. So November 15th, meeting in and around Snellville, Georgia. I love that name, Snellville. For the last lecture for the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tour for 2024, followed by a hike up Stone Mountain with a presentation by Moors. You know what happens when there's enough of us in a group, and then we teaching each other in these groups? You might want to be there. And then followed up with bowling. That's that evening. And we'll be filling it in with food and all that stuff. And then you go home. Or whatever. Hang out with the Moors, right? I'll be personally staying, I'm not going to say the exact hotel, but I'll be in, it has the name Stone Mountain in it. I'll just say that, all right? So I'll be there. And then the next day, we will be taking a caravan, maybe. I'm willing to drive a van, rent and drive a van, so we can all just go together and come back together, right? And then folks and children, because children are welcome. That way the children, if you have children with you, they'll be able to sleep and all that stuff. And you'll be able to sleep too, that kind of thing. So anyway, we're going to, the November 16th, we'll be going to Etowah Mounds Complex in Etowah, Georgia. Yay! You know, it's a whole complex. And I just dropped a video on our connection to that. So if you want some details on, like, okay, that's what it is, we're going to actually be there. And again, you can hire somebody to take you around and point stuff out. I'd rather do my own homework, because I don't trust these liars. They're liars. They're calling, just by virtue of calling yourself an American, you're a liar. And you're not one, you're a liar. So that's that day. And then we'll come back, you know, and I think that's all that's planned for that day because we're going to be, you know, moving around. Then Sunday, if you're still in town, Sunday at 11 a.m., we will be taking a stroll up Atlanta Beltline. I don't know what this is. The more that's our beacon, that's what I'm just going to call them, the Moorish Meetup beacon. It's the person who's like in town, right? So I don't have to be like going to the library and setting stuff up. You're in town, so you're our contact. So our beacon, he wants to go see this Beltline. It's like, all right, you know, so if you're still in town that Sunday, if you don't have to leave right away, we're going to be, you know, going up the Beltline. And apparently, I guess I'm going to have to do a presentation on that because I don't know what it is, all right? But I know I want to go. And Allah willing, if the weather cooperates, it'll be warm and dry. So if you need a break from what'll probably be cold weather from living up north, we're going to be down there in the middle of November. And there's a bunch of stuff going on, too. I'm not going to go into the astrology right here, right now, but it's a bunch of astrology going on with it. That you might want to check it because I looked at all the signs and there's only like a couple of signs where it didn't say that November, especially the middle part of November, I'm going to have to post this. November, especially the middle part of November, is a good time to travel, especially if it's short and it's a type of reunion. I kid you not. I'm going to have to post it, right? I'm like, yeah, oops. You know, praise Allah for guiding me to that. Not my idea. Allah set that in motion. All right, so new book. Yeah, I'm almost done. Yay. 2 more things. New book, new merch. New book. 1 new book. Polygyny Moorwet. This is the proof. All right. That's why it has this white band. If you order it, that white band will not be there. This is just the proof to make sure it looks right before you release for publication. It will be officially available October 29th, right? On all platforms. Right now, you can pre-order it at a discount at on CalifaMedia.com's website. The book is about polygyny, not just plural marriage. Well, I guess it speaks about plural marriage, but this is specifically giving you guidance and suggested instructions for how to conduct a marriage where it's one man and multiple women. All right. Yeah. And I have actual conversations that I've had with the author. We were talking about it. And it's like, yeah, I could try to come up with something to say, but this conversation says it all. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's that. And I have a handwriting book coming out pretty soon because one of the ways we can improve ourselves is by improving our handwriting, especially in cursive, script writing, right? Because it's becoming a dying art. And of course it is. Like, why would they want to stop teaching children? Well, they start teaching them keyboarding and stop teaching them script, right? My children are learning script. Why? Because most historical documents are written in script. And if you don't know how to write it, you're going to have a real hard time reading it. Especially, it's like you don't even know the basics. You definitely don't know that thing that looks like a long F is actually an S. That kind of thing. So, yeah. Oh, and don't worry if you don't make it to this one because there's like at least 2 more that are in the works. All right. I've been stuck in Indiana for 7 years and haven't gone anywhere. So I guess it started in July. I got the bug in me like, oh, this is fun. Moors are willing to meet up in major cities and we can go explore stuff. I say major cities just because that's where the airports are, but we don't have to stay there. That kind of thing. So yeah, there's at least 2 more planned and one of them is international. All right, so don't even worry about it. Well, you got a month if you can get there, right? Yeah, we need to figure something out because I know it's tons of Moors in Atlanta. Only issue Moors should have is getting there. We should all have somewhere to stay already. Just say you're a Moor, but you know, something to look forward to, right? All right, last thing. Well, second to last thing. Moorish merch, new merch. We finally got in the Moorish American enamel pen. This is dope. Yeah, and there are 2 versions. One has a safety pin back, like if you want to wear it on your turban, because you do not want to wear the other one, which is a butterfly clip back. You don't want that on you probably don't want to put that on your head because if you smack yourself and this thing is like that, not a good idea. Which is why I went ahead and like, well, I guess I got to order 2 batches to make sure, you know, for safety's sake. So that's available on, you can order it through our shop on here, on Instagram, and it's also available at califamedia.com/storefront. Once again, Islam to everyone who is here and those who will see this later. All right, so that's everything I had, and the last thing I wanted to address real quick that I wasn't planning on, but it keeps coming up. I wonder what's behind it. You know how you can see a wave, right? But it's like, is it just that wave, or is there like a storm pushing in some bigger waves behind that I can't see yet? And it keeps coming up, and I keep hearing about it. So here go the drama. I love drama. I just don't like being involved in it, right? I like watching it. I love watching it. Maury was my stuff. I'm not joking. I love watching those chicks run off the stage after she swore 1,000,000,000% that was he the daddy. I don't want to be involved in it, but I'll watch it all day, right? So now drama has come to my doorstep for some reason. So it started out with Cujo. Qureshi Cujo. I don't know if he in here, but yeah. Started out. It's like a lot of my problems start with him. It's real interesting, right? But it's fun because I get to smash in on people and like release some pent up anger. And I have a lot of anger. People are like, you're so hateful. No, I'm not. I have no hate. I'm very angry because I know what happened to us. So if I come off as rough and all that stuff, it's because I admit it. I have an anger issue, right? But this is how I like excise it. So it started with him inviting me to a live, saying, hey, come to see this live. Like, here we go, right? Hey, somebody talking crap about you, telling about you scamming folks using Rise of the Moors. Wow. And I swear I was 20 minutes late and I clicked on it, and that's what he said as soon as I clicked on it. Like, yep. I mean, yeah, I get it. I'm just going to watch and see where it's going. I ain't touching nothing until you move my hands yourself, Allah. So I'm like, that's great, you know. MRCI Charities took Rise of the Moors and we now scamming folks with it. I haven't seen anything about it, so whatever, you know. But I know you see stuff before I do, but I don't care until it comes to me itself. I don't care. It came to me itself. So I posted on YouTube a notice, and I sent out an email letting folks know, hey, we're gonna be meeting up in Georgia, right? And the branding is Rise of the Moors. What better way to demonstrate Moors rising than Moors getting together and, you know, doing some stuff? I'm rising in my house by myself and nobody can see it. Oh, I'm out here with fellow Moors and sister Moors and our children, because I'll be bringing my children. And we're discussing the history or the archaeology of this site, and we're actually at the site. That kind of thing. So yeah, that's why it's Rise of the Moors. So and I posted that, like, yeah, you know, and all they said was, hey, meet us in Georgia, you know, go to riseofthemoors.org to check it out. Get a notice or a reply saying that we're scumbags because, what'd he say? I think he said we swiped the website. Like, how do you do that? People give me so much credit. Like, I've actually had people say, yeah, I like you, but I think you're gonna steal my house. What makes you think I know how to steal a house? And why would I steal this one? That kind of thing, right? I'm just like, wow, what else do you think about me? You know, it's fascinating, right? I'll just be sitting there like, where did you get this from, right? So anyway, we swiped his website. I didn't know you could do that, right? And now we're using it to scam people under the guise of community service. And I'm looking at the post that he's replying to. I'm like, where have I asked anybody to do anything except show up? Not a dime. I'm not making any money off of this unless actually I'll be vending, and if you want to get some stuff, you know, I'll have the pens there, right? I'll have the new book there, right? So that's up to you if you want to do that, but you know, we're gonna be there either way. You know, is that a scam? Can somebody let me know? But anyway, so I say all that to say, just to set the record straight, how did MRCI Charities, I think I've said this already, how did MRCI Charities end up with Rise of the Moors? First of all, it was kind of interesting how, so MRCI Charities was set up because the Moors in Canaan land were trying to get some grants, and kept getting shot down. And I'm like, I think it's because you're not set up right. Let me set something up here, and then I can use that to set something up there, and we'll go from there, right? And after I set it up here, the Rise of the Moors got hemmed up. Well, no, was it? No, it wasn't. it was right after we set it up, because that was in December of 2022. And it was like right after that, like a couple of months after that, or a couple of weeks, that they got bail after being in jail for a year. It was like right after I started like really announcing that MRCI Charities a thing, and they said, you know, Rise of the Moors gets bail because they've been locked up for a year, if you don't know the story, for dressing as militants and traveling through a state that doesn't allow open carry with their stuff in open carry. And they ran out of gas on a trip that probably shouldn't have taken half a tank. But whatever. We were like cranking it out, getting more mobilized, and we raised the money for them, got them out. The thanks we got, zero. Not a word. In fact, got spit in our face. I'm wondering if that was part of the agreement for them to get out, which goes back to how we ended up with the site. Just hold on to that. How did they get bail, right? Because they had been up in jail for a year. Now all of a sudden they got bail. What did you have to agree to get that? I looked it up, found the newspaper articles. 1, you have to agree to not talk to each other. 2, you have to agree to not talk about the Second Amendment, anything pertaining to the Second Amendment. That means carrying on your personal person or forming any type of militia. So you can't talk to each other, you can't talk about guns. I'm wondering what else is up in there. Like 4 or 3, I'm sorry, that was 3. Number 3 was disavow the Moors who helped get you out that cage, and start telling them, oh, Najee-Ullah meant Muslim, not Moslem, and we supposed to be using the Quran. That you got to learn Arabic to read first. You got to learn another language to read it. That's what he was talking about. That was our thanks. No problem, right? And we had also, I should have mentioned, I'm gonna put it out there. Not only had we helped get them out of jail by not only contributing, but getting other Moors to contribute by getting the word out. But one of the Moors, I'm going to respect the sister and not say her name, he said he had his house free and clear, but she was putting out lives talking about, I need help with the mortgage. No problem. We got a little extra. Here you go. And then later on came, hey, we need some help with the bail. Oh, they didn't even ask for help. We didn't wait. They did not ask for our help. We offered it. We did not wait for them to ask for our help. But they accepted it, so there's that. So anyway, back to how did we end up with the site. So y'all not allowed to talk to each other. Y'all not allowed to talk about the Second Amendment. And I posted the article somewhere. It's probably on my page. Just scroll through, you'll find it. So, and then you talking crap about the Moors, and now you've lost your website. I have numerous websites, including .orgs, ton of .coms, and I always buy the .org as well. .orgs, I think the most I've ever seen them where you got to renew just the domain name are $30 because it's usually connected to some like charity or something. It's an organization. It's nonprofit. .org. I actually read the law about it. That if they find out you don't have an organization, you just running a business, you lose it. They take it away from you and don't give you a refund, right? So I'm like, okay, I get that you probably couldn't keep the .com. Who knows how much that is, depending on who your host is, right? It could go up to like $100, something like. It's nothing crazy. It's not. We're not talking about thousands of dollars, but at least the .org, which is the one we have, that one is like $30 top max. All right, you couldn't come up with that. That's the only way you lose a site. I've been doing this for a long time. The only way you lose a site is nowadays. I've never had it happen to me. You do something, you make the government upset, you make the domain host or the website host upset, and they shut you down. But they got to go through a lot of stuff to do that, right? Otherwise, you have to just not pay the less than $100 to renew it. And then even if you don't have the website anymore, you at least have the domain. That's the part that, fine, take the site down. It's like saying I have a piece of property, but I haven't built on it yet. That's how I look at it. It's digital property. Okay? So, I forgot. I left the story. It's up there somewhere. I was looking something else up. I think I was looking to see what's going on with the case. So I'm like, okay, maybe is the website still even up? Let me check risingthemoors.com. It's for sale for $8,000. Still is. I found this in July. back in July. It's still for sale. It's still up for sale if anybody wants it. $8 grand. Okay? And they got an installment plan if you're interested. Let me see what the .org is going for. Yeah, I told this story somewhere else. Where I found the .org was up for auction. What are the chances? And that when I stumbled upon it, the auction was ending in like 2 days. Or it might have been less than that. I think it was ending the next day. It was something crazy. Like I almost missed it, right? So I'm like, oh, it's only 50 bucks. You can't. I forgot to mention, I have let those payments lapse for both a .com and a .org. And they were like, okay, we about to put it up for auction. You had the renewal time where you had all you had to pay was the renewal, but now that we've gone through the process of getting it ready for auction, you got to pay extra to have us pull it off at auction. $75. That's how much that is. So while it's up for auction, if you actually owned it, if I understand this correctly, because this is what happened to me, so before you come at me, tell me that's not how it works, I'm letting you know what happened to me. It was up for auction, and I paid the host $75, and it was supposed to be a $10 renewal. I had to pay them $75 to get them to take it off of auction, and I got it back. I still had it. All right. So where are y'all? Why am I here and you're not here? And this is your stuff. You don't care. It's abandoned at sea. Free for anybody to take. So I bid 50 bucks. That's what they were asking. It was the next day. I'm like, I should be straight. It's only 50 bucks. What are the chances? I don't feel bad for them because truth be told, a lot of the contribution, now I gotta wrap this up, it's 30 minutes. A lot of the contribution from MRCI Charities was from Califa Media, which is the Moors I work with and me, right? A lot of them came straight from my pocket. So anyway, to help them get out of jail. And I'm still waiting on a lot of it. One of these individuals is like, I think it's like almost $1,000, and he pays like $1 when he can, and 2 years later he's paid up a grand total of less than 50 bucks. So it's like, yeah, may you get what you've earned, whatever that means. So anyway, we wound up with it. The thing started at 50 bucks. It was $50, right? So I put that down, and I'm like, here come the prospectors, and it got all the way up to $1,500, which thanks to the Moors, we had it in store because they had been, that was MRCI Charities. That's why it belongs to MRCI Charities, because I had to use MRCI Charities account to get it. So that belongs to the Moors, the real rising Moors, right? I don't know what he was doing. I'm not going to speculate because I can make 1,000 guesses and not even be close, right? But whatever. I always thought it was a great domain name, and after all this stuff happened, where it's like, Dad, we went through all that trouble of helping you, you don't say boo about it, nothing, and then you start telling us we're doing stuff wrong. Okay, I want that site because I think I can do something better with it. How to get it? Of all what are the chances that I found it the day before the auction closed, the day before? So I guess I was supposed to have it and you weren't, because you could have had it. So that's why I said I wonder what other conditions they had to agree to get out of those cages. Was one of them, you can't keep your site no more. Which I still don't understand, because you can take the site down and keep the domain. So for all of those who insist that we're doing something, show me the proof. Show me where you see what we're doing. Bring me some testimonials. You can say, well, I heard. I want to hear what you heard, right? You ain't even got to bring evidence for that. I just want to hear what you heard, and then we'll talk about the evidence, right? Because, no, what? I'm not going to even dignify that with a defense. Give me a break. So that's all I got, Moors. The sincere Moors, if you're in the area or you got some time and you want to just warm up in the middle of winter or right before winter, right? We're going to be in Georgia November 15th through the 17th. The details are on riseofthemoors.org. And again, if you're interested in the .com, it's still available. In a minute, you ain't going to be able to use it. I've already gone into that. Yeah. And I'm blocking some stuff. But anyway, it's on riseofthemoors.org/meetup. It should be right there on the front page. All the details. And don't forget, go to califamedia.com, get your pen, right? And pre-order your copy of Polygyny Moorwet. All right, and that's all I got. Thank you for your indulgence, your attention, and your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening, and I will check y'all out later. Till next time, Islam, peace of love, y'all be cool.